lovely and darling viewers, it's Jen here at Check Her Joy. This time I'm reviewing Heroine Complex by Sarah Kuhn. This is an adult urban fantasy novel following some kick-ass Asian superheroes. Asian American superheroes. The book focuses on Evie, who is the personal assistant to Aveda Jupiter, San Francisco's own kick-ass superhero. Aveda's superpower is telekinesis, but it's kind of a weak power. So Aveda mostly relies on her martial arts training, and she is so amazing that most people don't even notice and are like totally fine with not using her superpower. However, Aveda is a bit of a diva and a little bit hard to work for. Aveda is like super obsessed with how she looks while she's fighting. She has Evie start videotaping their fights so they can post them on the internet and try to grow their fan base. It's over the top and a bit ridiculous. But Evie puts up with it because Aveda is her best friend. They have been best friends since they were in middle school, and Aveda came to her rescue in a very embarrassing situation, and ever since then they have been like stuck together. So unlike Aveda, Evie is shy. She would rather not be in the spotlight. She totally wants to help and support her friend as best she can. She is also taking care of her younger sister Beatrice, or B, after their mother died and their father has gone AWOL. Like, he couldn't cope, so he just left. So she's taking care of a teenager. So Aveda has a lot on her mind and a lot that she's dealing with. And it becomes more complicated when Aveda gets injured in battle and asks Evie to impersonate her for this public appearance. So it just involves putting on a glamour so that she looks exactly like Aveda and just going and acting like her. They've been best friends forever. Evie's been working for her for a while, so like this should be a no-brainer. Except that they end up in another fight. There are these portals that have been opening to this demon world, and demons have been coming through and taking over. They've been imprinting on objects and having those objects attack. So like the cupcakes on the cover, those are demons taking over the cupcakes and attacking. So one of those situations happens at this public appearance, and Evie needs to step up, and we find out that she does have her own superpower, which is using fire, and she's actually got a really, really strong superpower. It's just that she can't control it. And also, the superhero lifestyle isn't exactly what she wants, so she's been keeping it on the down low. But with Aveda out of action, and somebody needs to step up and take on the demons, Evie has to, like, pretend to be her for, like, 6 weeks. And, of course, nothing can just be simple while this is happening. The demon attacks are getting more frequent and stronger during this time period. This book is really about Evie coming into her own, learning to stand up for what she wants. She has to take a stand up against Aveda at times. She's got to, like, protect the city. She's got to get comfortable having attention on her. Even if she's in the guise of Aveda, they're still looking at Evie, and Evie's still got to say the right thing. So she becomes more confident in herself over the course of this book. We also see her relationship with Aveda, her sister Beatrice, this guy she's dating, Nate, all evolve. Other notable characters in this book are Maisie, who is a blogger. She has been following Aveda around as like a fan page, and she's gotten quite a lot of people following Aveda. Like, they live for Maisie's take on what is happening. Maisie is this character who's like a gossip journalist almost. That's the kind of vibe she's giving off. She totally smoozes up to the team. She wants to form these really strong connections. She wants them to trust her. But when she goes and writes her blog, they're a little bit snarky, a little bit like, did you see what Aveda was wearing? Or, man, that was kind of messy. So a little bit snarky. So Maisie's an interesting character that adds a lovely element to this. We've also got the growing demon threat. Beatrice's sister, who's just a teenager. She's self-absorbed and a little pissed off that her parents are both gone, and she's stuck with Evie, who is now suddenly gone even more frequently than normal as she's fighting demons. But Beatrice also developed as a character over this, which I loved. I also really like Nate, the nerdy scientist on the team that shows an interest in Evie, and the two of them start dating, and it's adorable. Also very steamy. There is a lot of sex and also a lot of profanity in this book, so it is like a teen or older read. This is definitely an absurd, funny take on superheroes. It plays off the fact they're in San Francisco. It plays off the fact that Aveda and Evie are both Asian Americans, especially when we're talking about their background at middle school. Like ridiculous scenarios, like Evie's dad sending her to school with this soup that sounds an awful lot like human when you say it, so the kids in her class freak out. It's elementary school, and are like, oh my gosh, we're eating human meat. Aveda's the one who stands up and is like, yeah, totally, and just takes a bite and draws the attention away from Evie, kind of saving the day. So that's the initial event that bonded them, but also it kind of deals with stereotypes about like Asians eating weird foods, or like Aveda's parents wishing she was a doctor instead of a superhero. I have mixed feelings about the way that their background is dealt with. Like we see the fact that the two of them bonded over this movie, The Heroic Trio, which is 3 kick-ass Asians being superheroes and saving the day. And that's what inspires Evita to be a superhero, and how important representation was to her. But then she worries about her fan base, but we never see Evita worrying about how it comes off as being like an Asian American herself being a superhero, so she doesn't seem to internalize that. It's not something that Aveda and Evie explore, the two of them both being Asian Americans. They don't really seem to see it as being these role models to young girls themselves, which seemed a bit weird. We also have an lesbian side character in Lucy, who is a bit over the top in her wanting to find a girlfriend and hook up, and to the point that becomes like Lucy's main trait and not what she contributes to the team as the bodyguard and personal trainer. So I felt like that was too much. Sometimes, like, we get it, Lucy likes girls, but like, can we get back to like the superhero stuff? So on the whole, this book got 4 stars from me. Mostly I loved it. This cover by itself is really fun and is what caught my eyes. And the book is very much like it. It's chaotic and crazy and with quirky characters and a lot going on all at once. And definitely Aveda and Evie both play very strong parts in this book, even though we're following Evie's perspective. Totally a 4-star read. I loved it. It might not be for everyone. If you don't love absurdist urban fantasy or superheroes, obviously not for you. And definitely the sex and the language, so it's not a clean read. But if you love zany urban fantasy superhero stories with kick-ass Asian leads, check out Heroine Complex by Sarah Kuhn. This is book 1 in a series. I want to read the other 2, but I'm also not like I need to jump into them either. So it might be a while. Hopefully I get to the other 2 that are out so far. Let me know in the comments below if you have read this one or if you've read the other 2 books in the series. Are they also good? Should I continue or not? Yeah. So peace out. I love you guys and keep reading. Bye.